Well, the Supreme Court is in its final week of its term, and we are still waiting for the justices to issue several other rulings. So back with us now is our 9 News legal analyst, Whitney Traylor.
Okay, so with just a few days left, what topics do you think will be top priority?
Well, I think there's going to be 3 that are top priority. So one is dealing with LGBT rights, and that is the 303 creative case. And that is that's a case. What's interesting about that is they didn't there was no case that actually came forward. She was a website designer who didn't want to make cakes for gay and lesbian couples, and so or make websites. I'm sorry.
Right. No, wedding websites for LGBTQ+ couples. But to your point, to be fair, nobody's asked her to do this at this point.
That's correct. But she wanted a ruling saying this is my artistic expression, and I can't be compelled by the state to make something that I disagree with. So we're expecting a ruling on that any minute, actually. So that's going to be one important one. There's one dealing with affirmative action. And this is basically dealing with race-based admissions in colleges. And this is very interesting because in 1998, the Supreme Court decided the Grutter and Gratz case. And those have been the precedent. And there, the court said, you can consider race as a factor in admissions, just like you can consider legacy when somebody's parents go there,
right,
or where they may be from, or if they're the first student. So it can be a point system where you get points for that as well.
And that idea was born out of research that if you have a more diverse student body, students are getting a better education. They're getting more well-rounded education there.
The research is overwhelming.
Yeah.
That supplements everybody's academic experience. And then the third one we're waiting on is, of course, President Biden's student loan forgiveness, and whether that was, and essentially that was, did he have the authority and did he follow the proper procedure under the Administrative Procedures Act?
Wow.
Given some of the rulings that we've seen already come down from this specific court, is there any way to tell maybe what we can expect in these other rulings that you've just talked about?
No, I mean, there's a lot of people prognosticating, saying we're going to go this way or that way. But one thing was interesting as I was preparing for these segments was the way the court was made up in these decisions, because we know we have a 6-3 conservative court, but there were a number of decisions that were 7-2, 6-3, 5-4, with Justice Roberts actually writing some of those opinions and siding with some of the liberal justices. So that part was unique because the court has become so polarized, primarily because of our the confirmation process has become so political that people are now, this is a Trump appointee, this is an Obama appointee.
Right.
And so it was interesting to see the way the justices came down on some of these cases and how who they sided with.
Yeah.
I mean, we can only assume that some of these big issues are going to roll over into the next term. What do you think that's going to be?
Yes, there are going to be some big issues rolling over into the next term. One is that's interesting is dealing with the Americans with Disabilities Act and whether a tester, somebody who comes in and is kind of testing if somebody's compliant with the ADA, whether they actually have standing. So that's going to be interesting. There's, of course, more in South Carolina. There's a racial gerrymandering case, which we already had 2 in this term. And then there's one that's going to be really interesting, which is when a public official uses their social media and let's say they block somebody. Is that first a violation of the First Amendment? Because there's all these issues about Lauren Boebert, Donald Trump got into issues, whether the social media is their private or they're acting in their state capacity.
If they're using it, right, for a professional capacity.
And then it impacts your First Amendment rights. So some of those will be up next term, and it'll be interesting.
All right. Well, thank you so much for walking us through this. We appreciate it, Whitney.
A lot to look at.
You had me doing my homework.
Now you have us doing our homework.
I know, really.